My goodness me, do I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I normally start the vlog saying good morning, mon petit. It's only just about still the morning now. I have literally been sitting on my laptop all morning working on Petite E Styling. And I don't know about you, but I'm that person where if I'm working on my laptop, I need my hair out of my face. I need my hair up. I need my hair kind of like hands-free, if that makes sense. I just feel like I need to like be able to work. And I got dressed this morning, but I didn't do my makeup before sitting down on my laptop. And that was the mistake that I made. I definitely should have got myself ready before actually sitting down, because I feel like, especially with the e-styling, like it's so much fun to do, and I think it's going to take me like an hour, and then 4 hours have passed and I'm still working on edits, and I'm still like linking things and like getting things organized. So I've been doing that this morning. It's been so much fun. So I'm finally upstairs and ready to get myself ready for the day. I'm just gonna take my ring off because I don't like wearing my ring whenever I am kind of like doing my makeup, especially because I'm obsessed at the moment with applying my foundation with my fingers. I don't know when this happened. I feel like it was as we were kind of like coming into spring, summer. My lips feel really dry. I might put a little bit of the touch on before I start actually getting ready, but I think it was kind of at the beginning of spring, and I just really wanted to get that like glow into my skin. And I feel like sometimes when you apply foundation with a brush, it almost makes it like thicker. I feel like it goes a little, it's like a little bit goes a longer way when you're applying it with your fingers. And I also feel like it makes it feel more like an actual second skin, and that is exactly what this is. This is the Sculpted by Amy Second Skin Medium Coverage Foundation, and I would definitely say it's more like a tinted moisturizer, but quite a thick tinted moisturizer. It doesn't feel thick in a foundation-y sense to me. It feels thick in like a really nourishing moisturizing sense, and I especially find when I apply this with my hands, it just layers so nicely. So I literally just do one pump. What shade am I in? 3.5 Light Plus. I feel like it's slightly dark on me, but especially as the months progress throughout summer, hopefully I'm just going to end up being more and more bronzed. I'm going to get a little bit of colour, because the amount we can be in the garden, the amount that we can potter about outside, I mean, obviously the freckles are really starting to come out already. You can really tell that, you know, we've been outside a little bit more. So I feel like blending it in, it's fine. And especially as the summer months kind of go on a little bit further, hopefully it's just going to be the perfect match for my summer skin. Why do I look so ghostly on camera? Let me see if fixing this blind helps a little bit. I feel like I look so unbelievably pale this morning, and I do have like one layer of the Tan Luxe fake tan on at the moment, but I'm just feeling so pale. But anyway, put my ring back on now. So then I'm gonna go in with something I've been loving at the moment. And I normally use this if it's just like a day at home. It's just gonna be a really chill, casual one. And especially if I'm in a rush and I just wanna do a quick makeup. This today is very much like 10-minute makeup that literally feels like you've not got anything on your skin, but still looks really lovely and glowy. So this is the Pixie Bronzing Stick On The Glow Bronze Moisturizer Stick, which I absolutely adore. And I literally just use a little bit. You can just kind of like blend it in. And this is a really nice shade because this isn't too dark on me, which is really lovely. I don't know if they actually have shade names or anything. I think there's literally just one. No, they definitely have darker shades, I'm sure. I think this might be the lightest shade that I go for, but I literally just blend it in. You can blend it in more with your fingers. I don't really feel like I need too much, and I'm just loving that at the moment. And then in terms of blush, I think I'm going to actually use the Pixie On The Glow blush today. I'm really enjoying more kind of like blush sticks. The other product that I use a lot at the moment, which I'm really, really enjoying, is the Bobbi Brown. This is the Pot Rouge. So these are the two that I'm kind of loving on a more like daily basis. I do really adore, actually I might use this today. I do really adore that colour. This is a little bit more like bright and it really helps, although maybe I should use this if I'm looking so pale. No, I'm going to use the Bobbi Brown today, and I really like it if you just want a little bit of a flush of colour on your cheeks, yet you want it to be really natural, you want it to look really glowy, and I just apply it with a little brush and basically just kind of blend it in up my cheekbone, and it really helps with regards to giving you that like natural glow, making you look a little bit more awake, and hopefully giving me a little bit more colour, because honestly, I can't even look at the viewfinder right now. I feel like I look so unbelievably pale, and I don't know what it is this morning. It might be because I'm doing my makeup a little bit late, so like the sun's kind of like come round a little bit more. I don't know, I'm just coming up with excuses, but I just kind of blend that up, and then I'm also really loving it blended onto my eyelids at the moment. I feel like, oh, that was a little bit much. I feel like it just really helps with regards to that kind of like continuation with regards to your makeup, and I literally, as I said, it's a 10-minute makeup today. It is just super quick considering I'm getting late. So ready in the day, so I don't really want to take a huge amount of time, but I really love that blended in. It looks like you've taken a little bit more time. It looks like you've really like thought about your makeup and like blended it all together, when actually it literally took you 2 seconds in the morning with the same brush that you've done with your blusher. So I'm really, really loving the Pot Rouge at the moment. Quick little brush up of the brows. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't do a lot to my brows anymore. I used to fill them in so much. It's so funny when you look back at like makeup trends from like even 5-6 years ago, and you just think like, what were we doing? Like when we look back at the huge brows that we used to do, it's so funny. And obviously it's kind of the same as like when you look back at like the teeny tiny brows of the 90s. Like it's just hilarious looking at makeup trends and how they evolve and how they change. But quick little brush up of the brows, and then I'm literally just going to smudge the Bobbi Brown. This is the Longwear Cream Liner Stick. I'm actually going to smudge that kind of on the inside of my eye, on like my waterline. I feel like it really helps give you a little bit more definition, look like you've got a little bit more makeup on, but again, takes 2 seconds. It's so easy to do. You can literally smudge it out with your fingers if you want, and just looks a little bit more elevated. So I really, really like that. I get my lashes LVL, so I'm not really wearing mascara at the moment, and I really love it when I don't have to wear mascara, because again, it just makes my makeup feel even lighter and even more kind of like everyday, glowy, dewy. It just feels like your skin but better. And then lips, I'm loving this combo at the moment. Again, for very much like your lips but better. This is the Ciate lip liner, which I absolutely adore, and I literally just do the tiniest little kind of outer line on my lips just to give them a little bit of definition, because I personally find that my lips blend very easily into my skin, and so if I don't have any lip liner on, you kind of lose that like definition between them. So super quick little lip line. I know a lot of girls as well that they'll literally like blend it in with their fingers to make it even more natural and not look like you're wearing lip liner. And then the Giorgio Armani, this is the shade 05, and it's really nice. I can't remember the name of this one, but I really love this. It's not Candy Lane, it's not the neutral one, it's the other one that I unboxed right at the beginning of May, I think it was, that we were sent these, which was so lovely of the brand, and I'm loving them because they're really, really dewy. They're really comfortable on your lips. They feel like you've got more of like a lip balm on, and yet they give you a really lovely little bit of colour, and it just gives you that little pop. I also feel like it works so well with the Bobbi Brown blush. Like I think they blend so beautifully together, and the colours like really complement each other. So I'm just giving myself a quick little spritz of the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 setting primer, because we just want to set that in place and make sure that that's not moving for the day. Basically me done. The epitome of a 5-minute makeup routine. I am literally looking in the viewfinder and I've not even been recording for 10 minutes. So it's not even a 10-minute routine because I've been chatting as well. So I feel like it always adds a little bit of time, but the epitome of a 5-minute makeup routine in the summer when you just want really chewy, glowy makeup, like so easy for every day. It's so easy for like the office, and especially easy when you're like me and you're getting ready a little bit later than you should today. So I'm gonna get some jewelry on, I'm gonna fix my hair, and then we can crack on with the rest of our day. Looking a lot more presentable now, ready for the day, and I just wanted to come in here to have a little bit of a chat because it's something that I feel like one thing I've been really enjoying doing with regards to the Petite E Styling is doing a little bit more like educational content with regards to the styling, with regards to the outfits, with regards to what to wear and things like that. And I feel like having so many lovely chats with lovely ladies, there's so many things that I feel like in my head I'm like, that's common knowledge, but maybe in other people's heads they like don't understand it, or they didn't know that about fashion, or God, why is my hair just really annoying me? It always goes so soft when I first straighten it. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of information out there that like, I don't know, in my head I'm like, obviously, and then maybe sometimes I'm like, okay, maybe that's not so obvious. And something I particularly noticed, especially in my styling reel, something that again in my head I think is super obvious and maybe isn't so obvious to most people, or is something that a lot of people don't really know the definition of, is what is petite. Because it's something that I get a lot of questions about and a lot of comments about, because one of my most common hate message, I don't want to call it a hate message, but you know, I don't want to call them trolls either. It's one of those where it's kind of like a hard one to describe, because I think sometimes people don't even say it maliciously. They're just kind of saying it out of like curiosity, or I don't know what it is, but I often get told, you're too fat to be petite. And it's a really, really odd one because, number one, I find it really weird being online, particularly doing my styling reels. It's why I literally did one styling reel where I said at the beginning of the reel, it was like all about how to look taller, and it was all about how to like elongate your body with your outfits. And I said at the beginning of the reel, because I get so many comments from people saying like, how tall are you? I wish I could wear this, but I'm only 5'2". And I'm like, girl, I wish I was 5'2". Like, I would kill to be 5'2". I'm literally 5 foot exactly. And I said at the beginning of the reel, I'm 5 foot exactly. And yet I always get comments that I look taller. And so many people commented on that reel being like, oh my God, I had no idea you were 5 foot exactly. I had no clue. You look so much taller in your reels. You look so much like elongated and things like that. And I just feel like being online, you can't really get a comparison. It's one thing that I quite enjoy looking at the comparison. I can tell how tall someone is based on their background. A lot of YouTubers or a lot of like Instagrammers, the same as me, they have the IKEA bookcases behind them. They're called the Billy bookcases, which I have as well. And it's really funny because obviously I come a quarter of the way up the bookcase, not a quarter of the way up, but like 3/4 of the way up the bookcase. I don't come very high up the bookcase. And there's some girls that I see in their styling videos that are literally as tall as the bookcase is. And I'm like, wow, you must be so tall if that's how high up the bookcase you come. Like, that's my kind of comparison that I use online. Whereas obviously for me, I don't come anywhere near that. And I do feel like online you can't really get a gauge of like size or proportions or anything like that. It's often when I do photos maybe with Alex that people are like, oh wow, you're really tiny, because we can't take a photo together, especially, you know, when I do the little mirror selfies with him. I always have to get him to like lean down, to like bend down. He'll like kiss my forehead and like give me a little cuddle behind me, because otherwise the height difference is just so ridiculously stark that like it just looks hilarious. And I feel like something that you maybe can't gauge online is actually like proportions. So even though I am curvy and I know that I obviously have a bigger bottom, bigger thighs, like I know that I have a really tiny waist but like quite big hips, I feel like you can't quite gauge that even like in comparison to maybe someone that's not petite, that's like regular size. It looks bigger on camera is what I'm trying to say. And whenever I've like spoken to this about girls, or like spoken to it with friends, or like even like other influencers in the industry, it's so funny because they always say to me, they're like, how can anyone question that you're petite? You are tiny. And it is so funny. I think I've said this before with regards to my handbags. I've gotten a lot of comments before about handbags being like, are you sure I picked up the right size? Because this looks really small. Like, it looks a lot bigger on you. And I'm like, that's because I'm such a small human. And I feel like you just can't gauge that online, and it's really, really difficult to see it. So even though I'm curvy, I am still very much petite. And with regards to the definition of petite, I would say that it's obviously like mainly about height. Obviously I am 5 foot exactly, and I do believe that petite is anything under 5'4", which is a really funny one because actually in the UK, 5'4" is the average height of a woman. So it's really weird that 5'4" is like technically classed as petite. So personally, I'd say anything under like 5'3", 5'2", 5 foot, or even if you're in like the 4 feet. And there are a lot of women out there that are actually under 5 foot as well, which is so interesting to know. But I feel like petite is very much related to height, but also just related to like stature. Like, I do find that like if you looked at my hands compared to the average person, they're tiny. Like, my feet, I'm a size 3. You know what I mean? Like, even my head is really small. And I just find it so funny how like people can't quite gauge that online. And it's something that I feel like I've been having to like educate people a lot. And it's one of those comments where it does bug me, because obviously I'm like, I know like everyone's got issues, everybody's got sensitivities, and like sometimes being online is such a vulnerable place to be, especially when, I'll admit, for me, an area that I like to cover up, an area that I'm really not confident about is my tummy. And so sometimes I don't know, like do things to hide that, and if like people notice it, it makes you feel so vulnerable, because you're like, oh my gosh, this is an insecurity. And I do find that whenever it comes to like comments, it's almost like when people know it's an insecurity, the trolls can be trolling. That's all I will say. So sometimes you almost don't want to admit about an insecurity, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I'm being honest with you, I'm being open with you. So like, you know that when it comes to my styling needs, that's something that's really important to me, if that makes sense. Like, a couple of the wedding dresses that I tried on, I loved, but all I saw was that like area that I do not like. And I was like, oh my gosh, could not wear this on my wedding day, because I would just be so self-conscious. I feel like I couldn't eat for like a week beforehand. And obviously you just want to be so comfortable on your wedding day. Like, you just want to feel the best version of you. So anyway, it was just a bit of an interesting one. And I was just having some chats like recently with people about like the education of what being petite is, and kind of like the definition and just like getting the word out there a little bit more so people understand what being petite actually is. Because I also find a lot of girls won't shop the petite section because they think they're too curvy too, and all I'll say is you just need to size up. I do find that a lot of brands, they will undersize the petite section because they do think that being petite often it relates to like stature, and if you're curvy sometimes it's quite difficult to like get that balance right. So all you need to do is size up. So I'm like a 12 in regular sizing, I'm like a 14 in like petite sizing, if that makes sense. But yeah, I just wanted to have a bit of a chat about that. I don't really know where this conversation is going, but it's something that's just been like on my mind recently with regards to the education about it, and sometimes it was really hard being vulnerable, and I just wanted to have like a bit of an honest chat about it and like how I'm feeling about it, and just the comments that I get. It's really odd, and it's mostly on Instagram or like YouTube shorts. It's people that don't know me, and I feel like you guys know me. You know I'm a small human, you know that I'm very, very short, you know that I'm very petite, and like it's not so much you guys, but it's very much like the new people that are finding me, that like find me and don't have context, and I feel like context online is so hard to give. But yeah, I was just having a little think about that and thinking about the kind of like education that goes towards it being petite that I didn't really expect to have to do online. But anyway, just wanted to have a little bit of a chat about that because it's just been something that I've been thinking about recently. Sorry that you could see our air conditioning unit in the background of that entire clip, but we've brought it into the bedroom now because we need to set it up, because hopefully we're going to be getting some warm weather soon, and as soon as it hits like 25 degrees, 26 degrees here in the UK, it can become quite hot like when you're sleeping. So we've got the air conditioning unit out. It's just like a little portable one that Alex picked up off Amazon. But I've been getting a few questions about these cushions recently, and I just wanted to kind of let you know where they're from again, because I love the brand that they're from. They're from a lovely lady called Autumn Home, and she does the most beautiful homeware. It's like a really independent brand, independent business, which I really love being able to support. And the designs that she actually does like a series on her Instagram about things that pair well together, which I really struggle with, pairing different kind of like textures and patterns. You'll probably notice that I don't really pair a lot of different patterns together. Although actually downstairs, the cushions that we have on the sofa, I'm a lot better at pairing together, but I love these. They're like these kind of like little artichoke, if you can see that. I love the colour of them as well. They're this beautiful like beigey, really like warm colour. And then this pillowcase is super old, but they have a really similar one at Ochre at the moment, so I'll leave that link down below. But I love the fringing on it. I love the like linen colour, and I have a second cushion like this that I have in my dressing room. But yeah, I've been getting a few questions about these pillows recently, and they are just my absolute favourites. You'll notice that I really keep it simple with regards to making the bed. Number one, because I don't know about you, but I do not have time in the morning to spend like 10 minutes fluffing things up, adding different layers. Like I wanted to take 2 seconds. This genuinely takes like 30 seconds in the morning. You just chuck the throw on, chuck the cushions on. I'll give them a quick little chop, which a few people say is old fashioned now, but I personally love a chop. I think it really, really works. I also like the fact that it kind of hides that we have two different textures with regards to our cushions. So we both have a silk pillowcase, which these ones are from Bellissi, which I really, really like. We both have a silk pillowcase that we sleep on, and then like I always like to have like a second one just to kind of like bolster you up a little bit. You know, when you're like reading in bed or like you're on your phone and things like that, I just like having a second one there. And then this bed frame is actually super old from made.com. Do you know what's quite funny actually? I was making the bed the other day and Alex pointed it out, and you can never see it when the cushions are on, but it's actually discoloured. So that isn't a shadow. That is actually the colour that the headboard originally was, and this is the colour it's gone from being sun bleached, which is absolutely mad. And I don't know how I could ever get rid of that, because obviously the cushions and the pillows and stuff are always there. So yeah, that's quite funny. But I do really like the headboard. I think it's really, really lovely. We love our bed frame. We love our bed. It's really lovely and cozy. And my aim was to always get like a really nice hotel inspired bed. And I do feel like, you know, you've made it when you go to a hotel and you're like, you know what? No, my bed is better and I can't wait to get home and sleep in my own bed. But yeah, just wanted to let you know where those cushions are from. I will leave them linked down below, and I think my discount code might still be available at Ultimate Home. I think it's Ellie20 or maybe Ellie15. I'll double check and leave it linked down below. I'm sorry if the lighting is a little bit odd. I always find whenever I come into this room late into the evening, the lighting always just goes a little bit weird. I don't know if it's like the shutters that I've got in this room, because it obviously reflects a lot of like white light, and as soon as it starts getting into the evening, the sun starts to set. I don't know what it is. I just feel like the lighting is really weird at the moment. But I wanted to sit down because I have just received a very, very exciting new delivery of something that I've just been waiting to arrive. A new pair of sunglasses. Now, if you know me, you'll know I'm very, very particular about my sunglasses, and I feel like it's taken me so long to get to a point of like having a very curated collection. that's the words that we were going for, a capsule curated collection of sunglasses. Now, I quite like switching up my sunglasses in my collection because I feel like depending on your outfit, depending on what you're wearing, it's going to depend on like what pair of sunglasses you want to wear that day. I'm not really like a one size fits all kind of a gal. And one thing that's so important to me is having sunglasses that are comfortable. And I've literally said goodbye to a few recently, actually. I had a couple of messages from you guys. It was when I was speaking about it, and a few of you were like, I know that you've said that these are super uncomfortable, but can I buy them up for you? And I was like, 100% you can, because I am not wearing these anymore. I do not like sunglasses that are really heavy. I don't like sunglasses that pinch. Like, I've got a few that kind of like pinch right here, which is really annoying. And I don't like it when they sit too like heavy on your nose either, you know, when you have to like push them up all the time and things like that. So I always feel like whenever it comes to adding new sunglasses into my collection, I am so fussy. And it was when I was shopping actually in John Lewis, I was trying on loads of different pairs and I just couldn't find one that I liked. So I actually went on to Mondotica, which is a website that I've heard really, really good things about with regards to the kind of brands that they have on there, the collection of sunglasses and glasses that they have on their website. And I was having a little scroll through and I came across this pair from Marge. Now, I don't think I own any other Marge sunglasses in my collection. I did try a pair actually from Marge and I just did not get on with them. But these I am really excited about because I feel like they are gonna kind of answer all my sunglass prayers. Also, can we just talk about how beautiful this sunglass cases? I really love a beautiful sunglass case. It's my biggest problem with my little M&S pair of sunglasses. They didn't come with a case, so I probably need to actually buy one for them. But this is the most beautiful pair of new in spring summer sunglasses and I could not be more in love. So they're this really gorgeous oval style shape, but they're not fully oval, which is like what I quite like about them. They're a bit bigger than my Marks and Spencer sunglasses, and I do feel like as much as I love those M&S ones, it was when I was shopping with Emily in London when we went wedding dress styling, and I literally said to Emily, I don't feel like these sunglasses are blocking the sun from my eyes in the slightest, like because you've got to wear them a bit further down your nose, the sun just comes directly above. So I really wanted to get a pair that like a similar shape, but obviously a little bit bigger, and I love the fact that they are a tortoise shell. I personally find a tortoise shell is a lot more flattering because it kind of like allows a little bit more light to like get through on your face. It's not so much that you're being like blocked by the sunglasses. People can see your eyes through the lens, and I also just feel like it's so much softer on your skin tone. And I'm so obsessed with this detailing here. Can you see that? It's got like Marge logo on the side, which I really, really like. And what excited me about these is they didn't look like they'd be too heavy. And now that I've got them in my hands, I'm like, yeah, they feel like a really, really comfy pair of sunglasses. So let's try them on because oh my gosh, I think these are just going to be the perfect pair for my spring summer styling. These are absolutely gorgeous. They're not pinching on the side of my face at all, which is amazing because, as I said, I hate it when sunglasses pinch and I hate it when they feel too heavy, and they actually feel really comfortable on my nose as well. I can wear them down here and they don't feel like, do you ever have that where you literally feel like your sunglasses are pinching your nose and like you end up talking like this? It's not just me that gets that, but I love the colorway of them. I do feel like this tortoise shell is so flattering. It's so summery and just really like light on your face, and I love the like brown kind of tinted lenses. I think that's really, really cute because I quite like being able to see your eyes through your sunglasses. I don't like it when they're completely blacked out. I'll always choose to go for something that's a little bit more sheer with regards to my lenses. And actually, looking through them, I feel like they're going to be like a really, really nice pair of sunglasses. They're going to be super flattering, they're going to be super comfortable to wear, and I'm just so in love with them. Oh my goodness me, a perfect pair to add into my collection. I'm so excited to start styling these up for spring summer, so you can expect to see these a lot probably on my Instagram and here on YouTube. I must say, with Instagram, I am, despite the fact our chat earlier, I am loving doing the styling reels, and I am really loving doing like a little bit more of like the educational content. So if you do want to like learn a bit more about like how to wear pieces, how to style items up in a bit more of like a capsule way, and like just a few little tips and tricks, what to do, what not to do, things to avoid, things that like mistakes that I've made, or like fashion rules that I don't agree with. I just really love doing those kinds of videos, so be sure to follow me over on Instagram. But yeah, you can definitely expect these to pop up over there and throughout the vlogs, because I think these might just become my new favorite pair of sunglasses for the summer. Speaking of my kind of sunglass collection, I just thought I would get out and have a little look at what my kind of capsule sunglass collection encompasses at the moment, like all of the ones that I have in my collection, just making sure that it's like I'm really utilizing it. So these are the Marks and Spencer's ones that I was telling you about, which I do really love, but as you can see, if I kind of compare them next to the Mondotica ones, these are just a little bit kind of like thicker, which I really, really like, whereas the Marks and Spencer's ones, oh, try not to drop everything, the M&S ones are just a lot thinner, so can you see that difference? Which I do quite like these, but I do find that they're very like fashion sunglasses, you know what I mean? Whereas these are fashionable, but also I can very much use them practically, which is what I'm really, really excited about. And obviously they are a little bit more of an investment, but they feel so sturdy, which I really like, I must admit. I love these, but they do feel a little bit flimsy. But we've got a few others in my collection. I've got my little Jimmy Choo ones, which these are ones that I do love, but I do find they feel a little bit heavy on my nose. They are very big sunglasses and I do love them. I love the fact that they've got this like sparkle at the back. I feel like they're very much more of like an evening pair, which is really nice, but I think it's because they've got, you know, this little nose piece. Any glasses wearers will know that that nose piece can get really heavy on your nose and can become quite uncomfortable, but I do like them. They're just not like my most worn pair ever. Obviously got the new M&S ones. I've got my new Holland Cooper ones, which I absolutely adore. These are very much giving like summer vibes, which I just absolutely love. I think they're so, so beautiful. I love the detailing on them. Again, they're not too heavy. I really like the fact that they're like this kind of browny, like tan color with the gold hardware. I think it's just absolutely stunning. You can tell like the difference between the different kind of pairs. This one's obviously a little bit darker. This one's very much more like sunset vibes, if that makes sense. But I love the shape of these as well. They're a little bit more rounded, so they are beautiful. I then have my oldest pair of sunglasses, which I'm actually not gonna lie, I am a little bit annoyed because I took these to go and get re-lensed because these are actually a prescription lens that I have in here, and I have had these for such a long time. They've been my favorite sunglasses forever, and they actually, without permission, when they put the new lenses in, tightened them. So I don't know why, but they basically tightened the back of them, and now I find them really uncomfortable to wear. So I need to take them back into store and just kind of say to them, look, you didn't ask permission to do that. Like, can you please loosen them at all, like with your machine? Because it's not even as if I can, the amount of times I've tried to like stretch them and pull them, but obviously they use a machine to tighten it. So I don't know how I'm going to loosen them without using the machine. So I might have to go back in store and speak to them about that, because I'm a little bit annoyed. But as you can see, these are very much like, even though they're big sunglasses, I didn't want them to be too kind of blocky. So they're very much a bit more of like an ombre, which I really like the fact that you can kind of see your eyes through them. I just find them a little bit less intimidating on your face. So I love those. I then got these Valentino ones, which are kind of similar to these Marge ones. I do really, really like these. They're more of like a square shape. Again, kind of tortoise shell, but they've got the massive Valentino logo at the side, which I do find quite a lot. But I do like these ones. They're a little bit more, like, as you can see, they've got more of like a purple lens to them. I think I've also got a prescription lens in these ones, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do. So I've got these Valentino ones, which I really like, and then I have two pairs of Ray-Bans. I've got this pair, which is such a cute little pair. They're like teeny tiny, and they are just so light on your face, so I do really like these. Actually, they're kind of similar to the Holland Cooper ones, but a little bit more square in shape. So I've got these Ray-Bans, and I've also got these Ray-Bans, which these ones I normally keep by the back door, so that I can basically use these whenever I'm pottering outside in the garden, because again, they're super lightweight, and I really love the shape of them. They're like this kind of square, retro, like 90s, maybe not 90s, maybe like 80s, even 70s style shape. I'm not entirely sure, but I love them. I love the gold hardware on them, and I just love how easy they are to wear. So these are kind of like my gardening sunglasses. So a real like capsule collection of sunglasses. As you can see, there's so many different like shapes here, so many different styles, and that's what I really love with regards to my collection. But I'm so excited to add these into the collection. They are just absolutely beautiful, and I feel like they really are going to be the pair of the summer. But I'm going to head downstairs now because Alex has just called up asking how hungry am I, which usually means we're in for a little bit of a treat. And we're back. Another episode of Chef Alex. Do you know what we're doing tonight, which really, really excites me, is we are actually using my homegrown basil, who has been needing a bit of a trim anyway. So I've been dicing up a little bit of the basil to create a lovely pesto. Can you explain what it is we're doing?
Pasta.
Yeah, but what pasta? What's the sauce that you're making?
It's like a Greek yogurt-based sauce, where at the moment I have got some finely chopped tomatoes simmering in the pan there, with some chopped up basil.
Oh yeah?
Some
chopped up homegrown basil, thank you very much.
Homegrown basil, oregano, salt and pepper, and a bit of garlic, and some onion as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
that's all simmering away.
Can we open up? Can we have a little look? Oh my gosh, that honestly smells incredible.
I think the onion's a bit chunky, to be honest. I sort of...
You know, I quite like a bit of a crunch though from the onion.
But no, once that's... Yeah. Once that has cooked for a little while. Top it off with some yogurt.
You keep saying that. It's an American recipe and she keeps saying yogurt. So Alex keeps saying yogurt. I'm like, it's yogurt. Yogurt, darling.
Mix that up.
Yep.
Pull it all together with the chicken, the pasta, and then presto.
Oh, I'm really excited. Honestly, I wish you guys could smell what I'm smelling right now because it's honestly just incredible. I feel like every episode of Chef Alex just never disappoints.
Just doesn't.
I have a very important job to do. I am the stirrer.
I didn't quite have enough chopped tomatoes, so the sauce is a bit thin.
You honestly, every time that you serve something, you can never serve it without giving me a little, by the way, just to let you know, it's not perfect.
Well,
I bet it's going to be amazing.
I was going to do pesto pasta, but this was like, I just saw it. This recipe
Alex,
looked very simple.
Incredible.
I mean, we didn't quite have everything, but I thought I'd give it a go.
It smells incredible. I love the fact that you've used our homegrown basil. I love that we've got tomatoes in there. Penne pasta is my favourite. It's going to be delicious. Oh my goodness me. I wish you guys could smell this right now. This smells honestly incredible. I think you've outdone yourself, my darling. And la pièce de résistance. Homegrown basil. It's my favourite thing, being able to use literally herbs from our own kitchen garden.
That one.
Honestly, I wish you guys could smell this. It just smells absolutely incredible. I think you've outdone yourself here, my darling.
I always outdo myself.
I'm so excited to tuck in. Oh my goodness me. I cannot tell you how good that was. I am so lucky to be marrying a man who is so good when it comes to cooking. Chef Alex is just the best. Although the gluten pains are kind of starting to kick in, so I decided to come upstairs and rub myself a bath because a lovely post in a bath is just the loveliest thing. Do you know what's so weird? Is the fact that it's currently 8 o'clock. It's still light outside. I'm still not quite used to that. I feel like summer really has crept up on us. It's also weird that it's 8 o'clock and I'm still in my full makeup and outfit. I haven't got into my comfies yet, but I think because I got ready so late today that it kind of doesn't feel like it's as late as it is, if that makes sense. But I'm running myself a bath. As you can hear behind me, obviously I am using my L'Occitane Lavande, which is literally my favorite. It's just so calming, so relaxing, and now that I got a top up of it, I can make the most of it. Again, it's so always great. It's so great to give it like the little top up with the pouches. I absolutely love it. And I'm planning on doing a little bit of a kind of hair mask tonight. I'm actually going to use the hair mask that I unboxed with you guys yesterday. This is the Chris Appleton and Colour Wow Money hair mask, because I don't know if you've noticed today, my hair's just been really like fluffy, and I feel like I need to give it like a real hit of hydration. I feel like I need to give it a real hit of like nourishment, and this one says that it gives super glossy, expensive looking hair. So I'm excited to see how that kind of plays into the bob. I'm hoping it's not gonna like weigh my hair down, if that makes sense, because I really hate it when masks just like give you like a really heavy feeling with your hair, but I feel like a little bit of a shine is very much needed at the moment, and a little bit of a hit of hydration. So I'm gonna have myself a bath. I might even watch an episode of Bridgerton in the bath if I'm feeling extra extra special tonight. I feel like that is like a real Thursday night treat. A bath, well, an amazing home cooked dinner with our homegrown basil, a bath, and finally catching up on the new season of Bridgerton. I can't think of anything better, so I think I'm going to leave this vlog here. I will catch up with you guys tomorrow for another day of Everyday May. Bye.